everybody, it's Mrs. McClelland here and welcome to First Level Literacy. This is our second session where we're exploring a theme of patterns, and our theme of patterns is looking at poetry and particularly at rhyming patterns. So we had some nice poems yesterday that we explored. I'm going to start off today just with one of my favourite rhyming poems, and this is by Roald Dahl. So you may be a Roald Dahl fan for the books that he has written, but he's also written some rhymes. This is from one of my favourite books, which is called Revolting Rhymes. So that might give you a bit of a clue. What I particularly like about this is that he's taken a traditional story that we all know and turned it on its head, made it a bit different and turned it into a rhyme as well. So the one I'm going to read to you just now to start us off today, to think about rhymes, get those rhyming words going in your head, is about Little Red Riding Hood and the wolf. As soon as Wolf began to feel that he would like a decent meal, he went and knocked on Grandma's door. When Grandma opened it, she saw the sharp white teeth, the horrid grin, and Wolfie said, "May I come in?" Poor Grandmama was terrified. "He's going to eat me up," she cried. And she was absolutely right. He ate her up in one big bite. But Grandmama was small and tough, and Wolfie wailed, "That's not enough. I haven't yet begun to feel that I have had a decent meal." He ran around the kitchen yelping, "I've got to have another helping," then added with a frightful leer, "I'm therefore going to wait right here till little Miss Red Riding Hood comes home from walking in the wood." He quickly put on Grandma's clothes. Of course, he hadn't eaten those. He dressed himself in coat and hat. He put on shoes, and after that he even brushed and curled his hair, then sat himself in Grandma's chair. In came the little girl in red. She stopped. She stared. And then she said, "What great big ears you have, Grandma." "All the better to hear you with," the wolf replied. "What great big eyes you have, Grandma," said Little Red Riding Hood. "All the better to see you with," the wolf replied. He sat there watching her and smiled. He thought, "I'm going to eat this child. Compared with her old Grandmama, she's going to taste like caviar." Then Little Red Riding Hood said, "But Grandma, what a lovely great big furry coat you have on." "That's wrong," cried Wolf. "Haven't you forgotten to tell me what big teeth I've got?" "Oh, well, no matter what you say, I'm going to eat you anyway." The little girl smiles, one eyelid flickers. She whips a pistol from her knickers. She aims it at the creature's head, and bang, 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 she shoots him dead. A few weeks later in the wood, I came across Miss Riding Hood. But what a change! No cloak of red, no silly hood upon her head. She said, "Hello, and do please note my lovely furry wolfskin coat." So that's a different take on the story, isn't it? Little Miss Riding Hood wasn't quite as she seemed. She wasn't maybe a nice little girl. So yesterday we started looking at a Michael Rosen poem, Down Behind the Dustbin. And remember, we thought, I wonder what's going to be behind the dustbin. So you answer some questions, and today what you're going to do is start adding your own verses to the poem. So I'm going to present something to you to help me explain what you're going to be doing. So here we are looking at patterns in poems for our second session. We're going to have a look at the poem Down Behind the Dustbins again. I'm going to read it to you just quickly. Down behind the dustbin, I met a dog called Sid. He could smell a bone inside, but couldn't lift the lid. Down behind the dustbin, I met a dog called Jim. He didn't know me, and I didn't know him. Down behind the dustbin, I met a dog called Sid. He said he didn't know me, but I'm pretty sure he did. Down behind the dustbin, I met a dog called Joe. What have you got there? I said. Wouldn't you like to know? So if we remember our rhyming pattern, let me put the pointer on. We have the name of the dog, which is the end of the second line, rhymes with the final word of the verse or the final word in the fourth line. So here we've got Sid and lid. Here we've got Jim and him. Here we had Sid again, but we had did as the rhyme, and Joe and no. Remember what I said about rhymes before? Sometimes they're spelt the same, like Sid and lid. Sometimes they just sound the same, like Joe and no. So today you're going to write some more verses with your own name ideas. It's the name of the dog which has to rhyme with the final word. So all you have to do is choose a name and then find a word which rhymes with it. You can use an online rhyming dictionary to help you, and I'll show you how this works. So there's a link below, and after this video, there's a note of this link for you so that you can use the online dictionary. So all you have to do in Rhyme Zone is put the word in the box here that's flashing where it says word. Now, my name is Mrs. McClelland. That's really not a very easy name to rhyme with, but my first name is Pamela. Sometimes people abbreviate that name to Pam. So I thought, well, if I pop in Pam, let's see what we can find to rhyme with Pam. And you see there, it gives you loads and loads of ideas. So if I was looking for the dustbin, it might be something to do with food. Oh, so there's ham and jam and lamb. So all sorts of different things there that might help me with my writing. So what you're going to be doing is adding some more verses to the poem. You have to choose your own name for the dog and then to finish off with a rhyming word at the end. I've got an example of what I tried to do here. I'll just show you that. Here's my version. So down behind the dustbin, I met a dog called Fred. He was wondering if the dustbin would make a cozy bed. So I thought of the word Fred and then thought of some rhymes that would go with it. There's lots of things that might rhyme with Fred. And the word I came up with was bed. So then I was thinking, well, how can I make that fit with dustbin? We have to try and keep the rhythm of the poem so that it keeps the same number of syllables or beats in each line. He was wondering if the dustbin would make a cozy bed. So that's what I want you to have a go at doing today. See if you can write some more verses. See if you can do 2 or 3 more verses where you choose your own name and then you finish off with a rhyme on the last line. Down behind the dustbin, I met a dog called Bill. Then maybe you could think of some more. Michael Rosen, in the video that we saw last time, played around with some different names. You could maybe watch that again. Again, that's in the list of links below this video, and that might help you. It'd be interesting to see how you get on. You can make your versions just on a Google document and share them if you want to. The main thing is to have fun with rhyming and have fun with that rhyming dictionary. You might want to use your own name or somebody's name in your family. Or do you have a dog? What's their name? Could they be in your poem? That would be exciting, wouldn't it? So have a go. See if you can make your own verses to add to Michael Rosen's ones so that we've got some really exciting and interesting and funny poems to share with each other later. I'll see you all again next time. This is Mrs. McClelland then saying bye-bye.